Today we are going over the HD03 remote, its functions, how you program with it. We're going to be throwing up a shot of the remote over here on the side just to give you an idea as I talk about the individual sections, how they function and how they work. You can see over here behind me, there is actually a light shining off the wall right here. This light is something that we're going to use to show you how it functions every single time I program, so you can see it turn on, you can see it turn off right there in the back, okay? That's what we're going to use to show you every time we program using the remote. All right, so we're going to start at the top section right here. We have our on-off, our auto, and our reset, okay? Our on-off is you can use this and you can treat your light like a everyday light and turn it on and off with a light switch, or you can turn it on and off with your remote. So right now I'm in the on mode. If I had a light switch connected to this circuit, I could flip the switch off, I could flip the switch on, and it would control the light forever. Even though there's a motion sensor on there, yes, kind of a waste, but even though there's a motion sensor on there, when I turn this into on-off mode, it acts just as an everyday switch on, switch off. And I can use my remote. I'm pressing the red button. I can turn it off, I can turn it on. You can see that turning on and off each time, okay? The next button is auto mode. Auto mode puts your sensor on your respective fixture into motion or automatic mode. So when we press that, you can see it will dim down. It won't turn off. You can see it dim down and then back up. That dim shows you that whatever the remote just sent to the system, it now has registered that piece. And now you can see it dim down right there. So once I have motion on this piece, that's why it'll turn back on, okay? So that's our auto mode. And then our reset. Reset is if I wanted to reset my sensor to factory setting. I just press reset and it will dim down, dim back up, okay? On the left-hand side here, we have brightness up and brightness down. This is if in your auto mode you want it to be only a certain brightness, you can actually adjust that brightness with your respective piece on. On these models, they change slightly. It's not a huge jump in change of what we're looking at here. Okay, so just take note of that your lumen delivered, it only goes down 40%. It goes down 40%, it stops at 60. It goes down 40% from your 100% mark. Okay, so just take note of that. As we jump down to the next section, now we're looking at start, memory, and apply. Our start, this is everything that we're gonna do to program this remote on what we want our settings to be. So we don't have to press a button every single push, 4 or 5 buttons every single time we want to program one of these sensors. All we have to do is press apply every single time. But in order to do that, we need to program this remote to what we want our settings to be, okay? So we're gonna go through each individual section, and then I will show you how we use these start, memory, and apply buttons, respectively, on the remote, okay? So as we go down through, we have our detection range. This is the cone angle of your sensor. Right now, 100% is going to be as wide as it possibly can. If you were a little bit taller, or if for whatever reason you didn't want it to register movement in this area of your respective room, then you just change your detection area to be a smaller percentage, and that will actually shrink the cone angle, okay? Majority of the time we keep this at 100% because when it sees motion, we want it turning on. Your next gray section, again, these are all gray sections you can see in the picture over here on the side. This next gray section is our hold time. Hold time is when it first sees motion, so right there it sees its motion. How long will it stay on until it dims down to the next setting? Currently, we have this one set to 5 seconds. So it will stay on, it'll see motion right here, and then 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000, and then it will dim down right there. It dims down, and then it dims down to its next respective setting, okay? So your hold time, that is how long does it stay on, and it doesn't see motion till it dims or it changes to the next setting, okay? Your next piece is your standby percentage or your standby level, okay? The standby level is where it's at right now, okay? So it just turned on full brightness, and then we're gonna let it sit there for the 5 seconds. That dim level right there, that's the percentage we've set it to. This one's currently 50%. That's what we've set it to be dim for a certain period of time as well. So that's what your next one is what is the dimness, the dim level it's going to dim to, and then how long will it stay dim for is that very next section down here. The how long is the standby period. That standby period gray area, that's how long it will stay dimmed for. The very bottom one, your lux, if you were in a building or a room that had a lot of windows and you didn't want your lights turning on when the sun was shining through your windows, then you can actually adjust your lux level on your respective sensor. And so we come along and we say, hey, when it's below 50 lux, I want my lights to turn on. But when it's above 50 lux, or the ambient light that's coming through your windows is above 50 lux, then I don't want my lights to turn on. That's where that bottom section comes into play. For a majority of the stuff that we do, we have them turning on and turning off. We disable these, and that's one of the buttons down here you can see on the picture. We disable the daylight sensor, okay? The daylight sensor function, okay? So now we're gonna go through how do we use these three buttons? How do we program this remote to function properly? Okay, what we're gonna do first is you can see in our yellow buttons up top again, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start programming the remote. And that's what the start button's for, start programming, okay? So we start, and then we're just gonna go through each individual section. How do you want your individual sections to be done? And then we're gonna say memory, and now it's locked into the memory of our remote, okay? So I'm gonna press start. I'm gonna say I want my detection range to be 100%. Next section, I want my hold time to be 5 seconds. Next section, I want my standby level to be 50%, dim down to 50%. Next section, I want it to hold for 10 seconds. Next section, I want that one to be disabled, okay? Once all those are done, I press the memory button and I get a blink of that red light at the top, and now that one's completed, okay? What I can do now is this light will turn on every time it sees motion, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the apply button. When I press apply, you can see the light dim right there, and it comes back up. Remember, I set it for 5 seconds and then 10 seconds. 2, 1000, 3, 1000, 4, 1000. There's the dim right there. If you saw that, maybe hard to see on the camera. 4, 1000, 5, 1000, 6, 1000, 7, 1000, 8, 1000, 9, 1000, 10. And I may be counting a little quick, but it should be turning off right now. So there is how you set it. 5 seconds for the on, 10 seconds for the off. And let me just show you that this is actually accurate, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna move. The nice thing about these remotes is, yes, I can use the apply button to apply the same settings across the board, but if I wanted to adjust just one fixture exactly how I want it to be, what I can do is I can come along and I can say, you know what? I want just this one fixture to be a hold time of 1 minute. Or let's go 30 seconds, easier for our test here. 30 seconds, I'm gonna press the button, watch the light dim. You can see that dim right there. Now I haven't done apply, I haven't done any of that. I only pressed 30 seconds. Now watch how long this stays on for. 5, 1000, 6, 1000, 7, 1000, 8, 1000, 9, 1000, 10, 11, 1000, 12. Still on, still on. You can see it's still at full brightness, okay? What we've done is we've set it for 30 seconds for that respective piece, okay? Now it's gonna continue to sit here as we're talking, but it will dim down to our 50%. All the other settings in there are still accurate. It's going to dim down to 50%. There it goes right there. Dims down to 50%. And then it will stay on at this level for the 10 seconds. And then once the 10 seconds lapses, it will then come through and it will turn off in just a second right here. Okay, there's it turning off, right? If I come and I give it motion again, it will be those exact same settings. It will still be the 30 seconds. It will still be dimmed down to 50. It will still be the 10 seconds. I can come and I can press apply. I did not change the memory of the piece because I did not press the start button. I only pressed the hold time of 30 seconds. I individually changed this fixture. I didn't change my remote. And you can see it's still on without motion. I'm gonna come and I'm gonna press apply. Apply, there's my dim down, and you can see we're gonna wait on this one. 2, 1000, 3, 1000, 4, 1000, okay? And then it comes along and it dims, and then we have our motion, or I'm sorry, our standby period, okay? So that's where we can utilize the HD03 remote. That's how we utilize its functions. That's how we program the memory. And this will be locked in memory until you change it or until your batteries die, okay? One of those two things. That is how we program using the HD03. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Any comments, please leave them down below, and we will see you next time.